Hi guys, I'm trying to use this voiceover so I can walk you through these lessons. And the first lesson we talked about yesterday, but there were a few kids who weren't there. And I want you to have the opportunity to look at the slideshow and have me explain it to you. So your assignment this week is to go through this slideshow, and ultimately by Friday, at the end of this slideshow, you don't have to do all the slides this week, just the ones that help you. And at the end of the week, I want you to have drafted your introductory paragraph. That's your first paragraph in your argument about climate change. Okay, so let's start with the first slide. And you can move the slides over on the left-hand side of your screen in case you were wondering. Okay, the first slide is what I introduced to you. And that is that I want to remind you that when we organize our opinions and reasons, we organize them in a structured format. All right. Once writers of any genre have a rough idea of structure, it's easy to get the whole piece of writing down on the page quickly, roughly, and then you go back and edit and revise. Okay. This is just a little thought. Do human beings cause climate change? That's something to think about when you're writing your paper. This is our former vice president, and he is one of the main leaders of awareness of climate change. He made a movie called An Inconvenient Truth, and this is part of his speech. It's a real short clip, but it's very powerful, and I encourage you to listen to it and take notes. You can just take notes on a piece of paper, and that will give you some information or fuel to write your argument. Okay, the fourth slide is directions. So you want to make sure that you go step by step, read these directions, and do all the things you need to do. Add your name on the title slide, okay? Easy. Do some internet research. A lot of it I have done for you. For example, the slides with videos, and there are informative articles in slides coming up that I'll show you. And make sure you understand the topic. Sometimes you might have to read the articles a couple times or watch the videos a couple times. I know I do too. So to get the information, because it's complicated information. It's not something we talk about in everyday conversation. Fossil fuels and climate change, which is now actually called climate crisis. Write a description of each topic, and please use complete sentences. You're sixth graders now, you can do that. Include a citation of where you got the information. So that's something that will be included in my lessons. I'm going to teach you how to do citations. There are also articles, and I think I sent you a YouTube video of how to do citations, but it will be included here as well. I'll show you. Design your slideshow and make it interesting and fun to look at. Now, I suggested we share them all at the end of this assignment. You don't have to. You know that I don't ever force people to do something they're uncomfortable to do. But if you'd like to, I'd like to see, and it'd be a good opportunity for you to showcase your hard work. And hopefully I can ask Mr. Turner and Ms. Garcia to come to our final show. Make sure you use colors and different fonts and color the background to make it really interesting and fun to look at, just like you like, oops. And find and add pictures that represent your answers. So find pictures that go with what you're saying to make it interesting. And when you're done with everything, you're going to turn it in on Google Classroom. Okay, so those are your directions, and you want to make sure you can come back to them if you forget what you need to do or you need a little bit of help. Okay, so this one is to help you remember. Argument writers collect information by suspending your judgment, putting it aside, and you need to get evidence from both sides so that you can argue intelligently. Okay, because if someone comes to you and says, oh, that's not true, I happen to know that climate change is good for the environment. And you can say, really, where did you get your information? Well, if they don't have any facts to support their claim, then that's just an opinion and it's really meaningless. So you want to come to your article with some facts and introduce what naysayers might say. Someone might say that. So you might say something to the effect of, well, people might say that climate change isn't true. However, and then cite your information from your really awesome research that you're doing. So you got to remember that there's two sides to every argument, and you have to be prepared to argue your side intelligently. Okay, here's a fun, everyone knows Bill Nye. He has actually a lot of videos. If you want to go to YouTube and look for Bill Nye, he has a lot of videos on climate change. It's something he's very passionate about. So I put his video here. All you have to do is click and it will bring you to that, and you double click that and you can watch. It's just a quick video, and take notes here. Okay, this is for you. What are the causes of climate change? And you can type right on each document because I made you each your own copy. Who is climate change affecting and what can we do about it? Okay, so that's some other research that you're going to be doing to gather your information. Food for thought. Climate change is already here. 2020 could be your last chance to stop an apocalypse. So this is an opinion article. Okay, and I'm not sure if it's opening, so I might need to go and add that link. So these are some really good examples, and they're links. So writing a good argument essay, okay? This one I showed you yesterday in our whole group, argument writing graphic organizer, should Minecraft be allowed in school? And it gave some claims and some reasons to support the claims. So all you have to do is click on those, just like I just did. And
when I first saw this product, I thought it looked kind of crazy.
Wait,
Didn't really understand
couple seconds
what
for
the
the
benefits
ads,
would
and
be,
then just
but
I'd click skip ads. And this is an
students.
example of a
I
paper.
have made this video.
Okay, I'm going to pause it. But it walks you through the paper and it shows you the important parts of writing an argument paper, and that's why I included this. Okay, so if you can, if you have time, watch these. You know, you don't have, again, you don't have to do it all in one day, you know, but these are things that are going to help. Whoa, how did that got there? All right, I won't worry about that later. Okay, so this is for you to take notes, this paper. Read a variety of articles. It can be the ones that I showed you on the previous slide. It can be from the videos, but just so you can keep track of your information. So you write the title, okay, and then any information you want to include, okay, and points from each article that you can support, and if they are for or against climate change. Now, you can also Google climate change opinion articles, and I'm sure a million will come up, but you want to make sure you consider your sources. Who are the sources? Okay, is it some guy down from the dollar store who just happened to be writing what he thought? Or is it a scientist who did actual research? So make sure that your sources are valid. We'll talk about that more later in the week. Okay, this is, again, helps you to lay it out. Use these as you can. As you prepare to debate your classmates or show your argument, use the following template to help you organize your thoughts. And when you make an argument, you make a strong claim and have a reason. Strong claim and reasons and evidence, okay? So your claim is climate change is causing oceans to become warmer, or whatever your claim is. I'm giving you an example. And then I would provide reasons. How do I know that? Is it because I go swimming and it feels warmer, or is there scientific evidence that shows it? And how can I say that intelligently? Okay. Again, more notes. Look through your evidence. Include more articles, more evidence. These are for you. Now, this is for you to organize your thoughts. Right now, all I'm asking you to do by Friday is to have a good introduction and paragraph. So you can take notes right here in that. And if you want to keep going, keep going. But I gave you an example. So you guys all know how to write a good hook because you did that in your biographies and did a great job. So that it can include an anecdote, a quote, a fact, something interesting to get the reader. And then I wrote an example of how I might start. One reason we know climate change is real is because the oceans are becoming warmer. According to, and then you would put your information of where you got it. It states that glaciers are melting due to climate change. And I would give exact information, like what the rate they're melting at, or how many glaciers there were 20 years ago as opposed to now. I might, because that would be factual information to help me support my claim. And coral reefs are dying to a certain species, and certain species of ocean life are becoming extinct. So those are some pretty strong claims, but I need to back it up with support, and that's what my job would be. This is just a checklist for you to continue to go back to. Okay, you don't need to do it all right now because you're just doing your introductory paragraph, but be thinking about your lead, your opening sentence, transitions, okay, transitional words, however, then, okay, all those words we've talked about. And a good ending, good conclusion is really important. We're going to talk about elaboration further next week. Okay, so how to write an argument, collect evidence, explain your position, and organize your thoughts. That's basically the best way to go about writing a good paper. This page right here has articles and information. So this line, History of Climate Change Debate, there's an article, okay? So you just click on it, open it, read your article. You can take notes, pros and cons about climate change. There's an article. And there's quotes. You might want to use a quote to start your paper. It's a great way to start your paper. And here's some quotes. All right, I'm back. I don't know about you guys, but my allergies are off the hook. They're so bad right now in springtime. So the next, this is a really important slide. This slide has a lot of information that's put right here for you. So what are the effects on climate change on human health? There's articles right here. What are the effects of climate change on sea level rise? You just click right there. All right. How does climate change affect coral reefs and bleaching ocean, coral reef bleaching? Okay, there it is. So each one of these has some different information. So you don't need to go far to do your research. It's right there laid out for you. Okay. This you can also write on this document where it's yellow. So you're going to be arguing humans are or are not causing climate change. Because, and I want you to give reasons and explanations. And right down here, I just wrote ways to make sure you include a counterclaim when you're writing your paper. Okay, some people might argue that climate change isn't real. However, this argument overlooks these facts and put information here. While it's easy to assume, blah, 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 this argument isn't showing all the facts. So you're showing that, yeah, I understand there's another side to this argument, but here's why that's not an accurate side to think about. So this is strictly for you to write your introduction, which is your assignment this week. Draft your introduction. Use the argument starters below if you need them. Some people think blank, but I believe blank. Okay, blank is a complicated issue because this argument is misguided because the actual question that should be debated is, so you fill in the blanks, but these are just some kind of sentence starters, ways to get your thoughts going. And again, coming back to what we talked about earlier is the hook, and I've had many lessons doing hooks with you, but we did it. You guys did an amazing job on your biographies, writing interesting hooks, so I know you know how to do that really well. So don't forget to use an awesome hook or topic sentence, and I gave you some examples here on this chart. Okay.